Let's start with Crypto Palace.
Oh, yeah, thank you, for bringing me up. Good day, Suzy. Nice to have you here once again. I just want to quickly ask, as a Nigerian, I'm sure you're quite aware about what is actually happening presently, but I'm actually been I've been trying to get a view of what might actually be the future realistic. Okay, let me put the question this way. Can you please share your insight on Binance and Nigeria and how you think Nigeria can actually align with Binance mission to providing Binance mission to providing global asset to digital assets?
Yeah, sure. So I only read about I read about Nigeria in the news. So I know as much about anybody who read about Nigeria. It seems like there was a conversion to cashless society, but then somewhere people lost a lot of the cash. So I think because of that, we are seeing more interest in crypto. The banks in Nigeria don't work with cryptocurrency exchanges, so more people use peer-to-peer transactions. And yeah, so Nigeria is a big market, and we see a lot of users there. We see a lot of people needing specifically the functions that crypto provides. And also, the banking penetration in Africa is quite low. I think it's 11, 12%, if that stat is right. Nobody knows what the real stat is. Um, but with that low access to financial services, in the traditional sense, people are moving into blockchain financial services. So Africa is a very active market. It's a very low revenue market. The average household income is quite low, and they don't really actively trade. They use more things like just payments, Binance Pay, and other things. So yeah, but we view that as a super important market, and we continue to grow with it. I don't really have a specific strategy for a specific country, etc. I usually am not strategic that way. We are much more tactical, reactive, and we just want to build products people use.
Awesome. All right, let's move on. So next up would be Crypto King or BNB Tiger.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Hey, do you have a question?
Go ahead.
Hello.
Hey, do you have a question for CZ?
Yes. Can you hear me, CZ?
Yes, we can.
I'm just wondering one thing. We used to see a stock on Binance application before. Then after that, we removed it. Do you have any plan to implement again in near future?
The short answer is no. We don't have any plans to do it in the future. I think that we've only done it for a very short period of time. Actually, FTX did it first. FTX went to one of our partners in Germany, partner who is a broker, who has a broker dealer license. We actually had the option to acquire the company, but we didn't stop them from working with FTX. And then FTX was offering the stock trading tokens. They were also betting. There was a betting trade on who is going to win the president of the United States or something like that. So we copied the stock trading part. But I don't think that product works in crypto. I think the guys who wants to trade stocks are in the stock market. The guys who wants to trade crypto are the guys who are slowly experimenting in new area. So stocks and crypto are very different, and the trading profiles are very different too. Crypto traders are much more international and much more they're much more retail driven. Whereas stocks, I don't think there's any advantage for a crypto exchange to offer stocks. So, and then there's also legal uncertainties. We got complaints from the regulators right away by offering it. FTX didn't seem to have any issues with when they offered it before and after us. So, but we don't think we're gonna offer that anytime soon.
All right, then next up would be Guilherme.
So, hello, CZ. So after the Paxos stopped issuing BUSD, are you working with another stablecoin issuer or for example, Eurocoin provider, since I saw in the news that the Eurocoin pairs got a little bigger in this time. So are you working with some Eurocoin stablecoin provider? Thank you.
Okay, so again, the short answer is yes. We are actually working with multiple. We have always worked with multiple stablecoin providers. So BUSD is not issued by Binance. You guys know that it's issued by Paxos. So they were just my understanding is they were asked to stop minting new ones. The existing ones are still one-to-one backed, and that's fine. So we have always been working with multiple stablecoin partners, but BUSD is one that we said they wanted us to lend our branding support. We said yes. We actually didn't get any additional commercial benefits for it. You had the same commercial benefits as PUSD, USDP, the Paxos USD, and a few other stablecoins. So it's actually the same commercial relationship. We actually didn't get any additional advantage for using our branding. Um, and We have even when we were working with BUSD on Paxos with Paxos, we had worked with other stablecoins issuers too. So now, given the sort of what we perceive as the risk of US dollar based stablecoins, we're actually working with much more stablecoin partners. So we want to see more non-US dollar backed stablecoins like Euro backed, Japanese yen backed, Korean won backed, every other currency that if there's a decent stablecoin issuer, we'd be quite interested to work with them. So Binance is never exclusive, only one partner. We never sign exclusivity deals. So we want to. I think it's beneficial to see more and more stable coins being promoted, and we're also working with multiple algorithmic stable coins. So I think Do Kwon actually had the right idea. He just executed poorly, and he just wasn't. He was also not transparent enough with the risks involved in a algorithmic stablecoin. So we're working with multiple algorithmic stablecoin issuers too. So all of that is happening. When we lose one alternative, there's multiple other alternatives that's available.
Awesome. Thanks, Susie, for the insight. So we'll move on next to Jess.
Hey Cz, what's up? Are you using a Binance feed?
Yeah, thanks, Jess. I have not used Binance Feed myself that much. I probably should. Yeah, so I'll try to get on that. For the people who doesn't know, Binance Feed is a kind of a news feed style at the bottom of the Binance app. So if you go to if you open your Binance app, scroll to the bottom, you will see news feeds, and those are news contributed by mostly KOLs that work with us, not Binance ourselves. So I haven't. I'm not a news kind of guy. Tweet is fun, but I'll look into it.
Cool. All right, moving on then to Alsa.
Hey, thank you. Hi, Susie. Appreciate for your time. As a deep learning machine learning developer, so follow-up question is, how do you see AI applications are in 2023 with the cryptocurrency? And the second one is, how do you see Binance approach into an AI application from perspective stablecoin, or can be another mechanisms? Thank you.
Yeah, sure. So AI has many wide implications, right? So especially with the more recent iteration of ChatGPT, it's more interactive. It's very sensible. It's very knowledgeable about common topics, even very industry specific topics. If you ask him about, hey, do you know CZ? He can actually talk about. I'll give you a paragraph that's very accurate description of different very specific topics. So Binance has been using AI in our products in a few areas. So our team recently integrated ChatGPT into Binance Academy. So now in Binance Academy, which is a free educational platform that on Binance.com, it talks about all the crypto stuff. You can interact with the AI, and if you ask for something, the AI will try to give you a response. So that's the most recent one. Before that, we've been using AI to field our customer support desk. So about 76% of our customer support inquiries are solved by an AI bot. And so this saves us 3x of the effort. Our humans take care of the rest of 25%. And the AI is continually being built or being improved. There's training, there's learning, etc. The other area we do use AI quite heavily is market surveillance and risk monitoring. Again, that's a very big data initiative. It's a different type of AI. You look for market manipulations, any hacker attempts, risk-based approaches, etc. So, and more recently, we've been applying our AI alongside the compliance tools. So, for example, when a new user registers on Binance, do they have a fake passport picture? Are they if their name duplicates with say a PEP, a politically exposed person? Is that the same guy or not the same guy? Historically, it takes a long time for a human to determine that. That a Google search it, etc. Now with AI, all of those processes can be significantly improved in terms of efficiency and accuracy. So we're like, yeah, so we're using AI in a lot of different ways. There's probably like 20 other areas our teams use AI, but I don't know all of them. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Thanks, CZ. So moving on, next up is Elja.
Hello, CZ. Hello, Alex. I really don't have a question for Binance because Binance for me is always Sifu. But I have a question for the BNB chain. Can you, like CZ, at some point start considering coming to, let's say, do BNB chain spaces to educate projects, to make them, share your experience and how they need to strategize their businesses, etc. I believe there is a value you can add a lot over there. So let me know.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks, Elja, for the question. So there's a couple of different things there. I'm very happy to do that. I'm very happy to jump into the BNB community, etc. I'm not that deeply involved in the BNB community, in the BNB development. So in terms of the multiple BNB chains, there's different teams working on that. And then the different projects in the ecosystem. I know some of them. I don't know all of them. And then I don't dictate the direction of BNB chain or the ecosystem direction. I think as a decentralized ecosystem, it's better for the community to just whatever they develop, they develop. So from that regard, I'm much less involved from the BNB chain angle than, say, for example, Vitalik. Or compared to any other founder that's associated with a chain. BNB chain, it has some advantage using the BNB chain name, but it also has some disadvantage because it's closely associated. People naturally, psychologically associated with Binance, and it gives us more of a centralized feel to it, perception, which is actually wrong. I get involved much less in BNB chain than Vitalik. So I think there's a decentralization aspect to it, which I'm kind of happy that it's evolving. Binance did help fund many or even give grants to many of the BNB chain projects. So we wanted to bootstrap the ecosystem. We give grants. We help where we can, but the projects are very independent. Right now, I'm still spending quite a lot of my time on a centralized exchange. That's kind of where my core expertise are. I'm actually not I'm not a big expert. I didn't have time to look into a lot of the decentralized technologies. Different swap algorithms, different consensus algorithms, different staking mechanisms. So I don't know all the detailed intricacies of those things, and I might not be the best person to sort of address questions or even give suggestions. So it's kind of good for me to sit back and just watch that ecosystem grow. So there's a few different considerations, but for me, I'm a big supporter of BNB, right? So I support BNB much more than I support Binance.com. So, and I will continue to do that. So if I have free time, I'll contribute more to the BNB ecosystem.
So, CZ, just if you could expand a bit beyond the point around the ecosystem funds. I know we have teams at Binance, and there's also some on the BNB chain team as well that support with project incubation and things like that as well. Could you share some details around how Binance supports some upcoming projects and what that process looks like?
Sure. So there's the BNB ecosystem fund, which is managed by the sort of the BNB ecosystem, the BNB chain foundation or team. So they decide relatively independently which projects to give grants. The grants are usually quite small. They're 50K, 100K. Sometimes they go up to 250K, etc. Actually, I just heard of a project that's getting $1 million grants today, soon. So those are grants, and then they kind of have their own thing. They have their own team members that try to bring projects, good projects onto the BNB chain ecosystem, etc. There's on the Binance.com side, there is the Binance Labs, which is our ventures arm. The Binance Labs also do incubations, early stage investments, late stage investments, etc. And there's also a couple guys who specialize on BNB ecosystems. So that includes BNB chain or any project on there, or even things in the general decentralized blockchain, DeFi, etc. It doesn't necessarily have to be on the BNB blockchain. So all of that is happening. So we're more trying to help from a funding and support perspective.
Perfect. All right. Thanks for the extra details there. So moving on, I'll hand the mic over to David or Crypto Chic.
Hey, CZ. Thanks for having me up. Thanks, Binance. CZ, I think, thematically over the last few AMAs, you've mentioned Binance is looking to move away from fiat-backed stablecoins. I guess like projecting out as an investor, trader, developer, founder, what would be the anticipated alternative in your view?
I think there's quite a few different alternatives, but I also think that fiat-backed stablecoins will continue to exist for a long time to come. It's just the easiest to understand and also easiest to verify kind of stablecoin. But I think stablecoins are going to evolve. So this is one of those things where something negative happens, but it actually forces more innovation. Algorithmic stablecoins have different risk characteristics. When you use one asset as a collateral for another asset, there's always possibility of depegging. I think we need systems to make that risk very clear to every people who use those stablecoins. Even the name stablecoin is kind of a misnomer. In one of the discussions internally, I was actually suggesting we should use the word unstable coin. To make sure people understand that it's not inherently not stable, but it's stable to a point. But after a point, things could become unstable. People need to understand those risks. There are other very innovative ideas from very impactful and knowledgeable people. This talks about a inflation hedged stablecoin. So stablecoin today is back to a single currency. And almost every single fiat currency we know are devaluing rapidly, and that's actually not stable. There are certain advanced ways to trade based on inflation bond curves, so that you get exactly the inflation rate in appreciation for the underlying asset. And if you attach a stable coin onto that, then that stable coin is pegged to the inflation rate. So it will go up in value over time versus the native fiat-backed stablecoins. So there are many interesting innovations and discussions that's happening. But to answer your question, though, all of those things will take time to grow and mature. And anything that's new have more risks than typically have more risks than things that were there before. So we will just have to see those things grow. But this space changes very quickly. BUSD was only available after 2019, 2020. So in the last 2 to 3 years, it's grown to be the number 3 largest stablecoin, but it's also declined rapidly given the last couple of weeks. So things change very quickly. So we just want to support innovation. So, but I do think there will be more stable coins, different type of stable coins coexisting for a while. But longer term, I do see non-fiat backed stable coins taking over. Longer term means 10, 20 years. I have a very long horizon.
All right. Well, thanks, David, for the question. That was